Hi guys, good morning. How are you all doing? Well, I can gather that a lot of people, a lot of soul travelers are really going through it, through the darkness, through the onslaught, through whatever you choose to call it, psychic attack. I call it the dark generator. Because it feels like that to me. It feels very machine-like and very metallic and very cold. But I know, I think now more than ever before, what it is, what its nature is, what its essence is. And I don't say that lightly, by the way. It's taken me fucking years of digging into my own being, you know. So it's weird because I've barely had any sleep. I've been awake since about 2 o'clock, I think. Just attack, full on. And what it does. And it's weird because I'm here doing a video regardless, you know, despite that fact, because something said, I call that energy the Great Mother, something benevolent and good, and it said, you know, do a video and talk about this, and just you know. So this will just be another one of my musings and ramblings and whatnot, and so if I drift over here and drift over there and drift over there, then, you know, bear with me, people, you know what it's like here. You know, that's just the Kismet spiral. That's what it is. Because there's so much has been going on, really, on the external plane, triggered by all the shit in the external illusion, the dream world. I mean, it reached epic proportions of stupidity, insanity and whatnot. I mean, if you're on Facebook, you know, you come across so much now, it's like I mean, your mouth is like perpetually open, literally, and your eyes are like that. A friend sent me, I mean, honestly, a fucking video of, what's that fucking child molester's name again? Cliff Richards, yes. Cliff Richards, you know, I'm so sorry, but we don't talk anymore. You know, one of these horrendous. I mean, the guy has zero talent. If anything, he has less than zero talent, and he's there. You know, it's so funny how we don't talk anymore. It's all propaganda, and it's just like that. That's it now, people. That's it. That is what the masses love and eat. They eat it, they drink it. That's what their daily diet consists of. But I'm kind of wandering off topic here because, you know, more than ever, and this is how I feel so strongly now. I feel like I just want to be with me. That's all. I'm the hermit now. I got a Facebook message of Facebook friends. Hi. Saying that exact same thing, and it really resonated with me because it's exactly how I feel. I just want to be with me. My whole fucking life I was programmed. I was completely abused. I was really severely abused as a child. Mentally, emotionally, physically, it was appalling. Then I left home when I was 13. I had absolutely nowhere to go. I had no idea who I was. All I knew was fucking trauma and abuse, so you can imagine what my subsequent life was like. But despite all of that, I began to awaken, and I actually began to awaken at a very young age. I was about 16 when I began to to awaken, because my behavior was very fucked up. I was very fucked up. I was a heroin addict. It was bad, and I came out of that. I ended up living in this place in Amsterdam, and these were very kind people. They were born again Christians, but they were very kind people, and they held a mirror up and showed me, and it was the hardest choice I'd ever made up until that point, where I had to make a choice. It was a crossroad moment. I had to make a choice to go on as I was, full of narcissistic tendencies, full of psychotic tendencies, because I'd been so badly abused, and I really was completely shredded, ripped apart. And to go on like that, and to just, no, I'm not going to change, because that's the truth. That is who I am. That is the truth. That's what was done to me, and I want vengeance, and I'm full of hatred and full of rage, and I don't trust anything and anybody, and basically evil's powerful, and evil's all there is, and that's the road I'm going to take. But there is love here. These are good, kind people, and they're showing me another road. And it was the hardest choice I'd ever made, because the vertigo, the psychic attack, the darkness in my own consciousness was fighting tooth and nail to get me to stay in the darkness. But I chose the light. I was about 16, and I remember that moment with crystal clarity, because it was the first step on an awakening journey. So that was 36 years ago, because I'm 52 now. I made that choice. I chose the light. I chose love. And it's because of that first pivotal choice that I am here today, I believe. Because a sense of self-preservation, a sense of self-love was born there. The seed of love began to blossom. I mean, I still had many, I eventually left Amsterdam and moved to London, where I had a shitload of experiences, and my life has been a particularly difficult life, and I'm not saying that for any other reason other than that. It's a simple fact. It's part of my journey, and I own it. It's interesting because especially last night, feeling a bit tearful, people, because it's just been, like, wow, what an onslaught, wow, it's beyond words, and I know some of you are going through that as well. The depression, the heavy, dark, oppressive, you're not allowed your light, you're not allowed anything other than victimhood and defeat and doom. It uses everything that has happened in my life. It uses my current situation, the fact that my health is not good, I've lots of health problems that are really just seeming to kick off again. My financial situation is precarious. I hate where I live. I'm surrounded by smart meters. I'm surrounded by unsavory, toxic people above me, next to me. Horrible. And the world around me is seemingly going completely to pot. So it's using that against me. And it's saying, see, there's your proof, there's your evidence that evil is winning. And evil always wins anyway. And there's nothing you can do. And you're not a good person because you went there and that happened and you were a heroin addict. See, so you're a bad person, you're bad. And it just, if it's not overt like that, it attacks overtly like that, it does it covertly. So I call it the quiet voice. which is there constantly sabotaging and undermining, you know, like in a day, we have to learn to set boundaries. This is very important. And so when somebody does something or says something or whatever that is unacceptable or isn't right for me, I have to say that. I have to say, look, can you please not do that? Because, you know, and it's there saying, oh, you can't do that, you can't do that. You'll upset people, they'll get upset. Fear. Ooh, fear. Like you're all alone in this world. Nobody wants you, you're all alone. There is no safety, You're all alone, and it's dark. And there are demons lurking everywhere because evil is all powerful and evil always wins. And you're nothing, you're so small and you're so powerless and you're just a plaything of evil. That is why you were created. You're just being tortured slowly until, you know, you kill yourself, and then you'll be born into this place again and it'll start all over again. Because, you know, Anthony Peake says, because he's one of these people that I used to like and I don't anymore, and he basically says that we do this thing, this life, the same life over and over and over again, and that's why we get deja vu. Cool. Here's the fan just went by. It says, imagine your potential. I'll get to that in a bit. Bit of a rambly one. Ah, coffee. Coffee and essential oils. Rosemary, you know the herb? I find essential oils help a great deal when you're very, very, very depressed. They always help anyway. I've always got this, for example. This is a little locket I have, and in it's got felt. Look, a little felt thingy that I put oils on, and I wear it around my neck. And you know, this one in here is called Happiness. It's really nice, and it just helps me. Scents, sounds, music, poetry, yeah, you know, whatever helps. I find that homeopathy no longer works for me, natural remedies no longer work for me, because I now understand why that is as well, because that which makes me sick lies in my consciousness. So, you know, anyway, but this Anthony Peake, you know, basically overdoing the same experience over and over and over again, and that's why we have deja vu. And it's like, how toxic, how sickening is that? How gut-wrenchingly disgusting and evil and awful is that? But of course, that's why he's there, saying that. He's a minion of the dark side. Because it's always the same. It's always the worst case scenario. It's always your worst fear imaginable made real. That is what it is. That is what it wants you to think. That is where it wants us, people. I know this. I can feel it, because it's got this arsenal of weapons, right? It has an arsenal of weapons that it has literally at its disposal, that it uses against us. And it's our past. It's our past lives. It's all the mistakes that we've made. Or not at all. It's when you set boundaries and say no to people. It's when you stand up and say no. It's when you stand up and defiantly say, but no, I'm going to stand in my light. I'm no longer going to feed the darkness. I'm no longer going to sit here with other people and ruminate hour upon hour about the demiurge and the archons, or the jinn, or, you know, the cabal, and Bill Gates and his vaccinations, and oh, this is going to happen, and oh, look what's going on over there, and we must focus on that. Focus external, focus external, focus external. I call it externalism. It's out there and it's happening and it's all bad. Giving my power away. The vertigo. Yeah, that's what you've got to do. That's what you've got to do. That's what you've got to do. That is the way to be. Focus external. Look what's happening over there. Look what's happening over there. Oh, we're fucked. Oh, we're so fucked. We're so fucked. Oh my God, we're doomed. Living in fear, contorted, gut-wrenching depression, fear, anxiety, insomnia. Oh, but at least I eat well. How come I still feel like shit? How come my health is still failing? When will this end? When will it get better? When will it finally? Somebody's got to come and rescue me. Somebody's got to come and save me. Somebody's going to make it all right. Please, let's pray. Let's pray. Please, Great Mother, please make it all right. Please make it all right. And here is why that is not going to happen, people. Because it's fucking our responsibility. I am fucking pissed off with this whole bullshit. Fucking, state of mind, state of consciousness, state of fucking, the state of the world, the state of my consciousness. I need something on the external to come and sort out my life. That's not how it's going to work. I know this. Nobody will come and rescue us. If we are clinging to the darkness, if we are perpetually focused on evil and on evil's minions and what evil's minions are up to, threatening to do this, because it hasn't happened yet. World War III hasn't happened yet. Mass force vaccinations hasn't happened yet. There's a load of fucking shit that I remember back in the day, some years ago, they were threatening to take away all natural remedies and all homeopathy, and they were going to take it all away, and they were going to... There's so many things that they have threatened to do that have not materialised, people. But people have very short memories, and people don't pay attention because they are perpetually focused on the darkness. Because we've been programmed to think that's how you stay safe. I know it full well because that's what's happening here. As long as you're in the fear and imagine, your mind's there imagining all these torturous, horrible scenarios. Oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Oh, it's terrible. You're going to have to commit suicide because you just won't be able to live that down. You're going to lose your teeth, you're going to lose your hair, they're going to take your money away, you're going to end up homeless, you know, the whole world hates you, and oh, you're going to be in terrible pain, and oh, you know, they're going to force vaccinate you, and they're going to put you in a concentration camp, and they're going to starve you to death, or like, I know this is what people imagine, all this type of shit. Friends, people I know, that's what they imagine. There's a friend of mine who's very sick down the road, and so consequently he's on benefits, and you know, she had to go to an assessment, which they do here in Britain, and she was treated like absolute shit. She was told that she was putting it on and that there was actually nothing wrong with her at all, even though she's incredibly ill, very ill. So she's terrified now, living in fear, terrified. Oh, I'm not going to survive, I'm not going to survive, they're going to take my money away, I'm going to end up homeless. It's dreadful, absolutely dreadful. These things do happen, these things have happened to us. These things have happened to me over and over and over again. Many things have happened to me, it's all, you know. However, it's interesting because the fear is so heavy, so dense, so palpable, like a throb, like a heart throb. Heavy, 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 clammy, hot, foul breath. That's how it is. That's how it is. That's how it is. Mundane reality programming. Trauma-based mind control. Heavy. Fear. 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 That is where Vertigo lives. That state of consciousness, and it does require our compliance. That's it. It requires us to comply, to agree, to choose that. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's the truth. that's what's happening, that's what's going to happen, that's where I have to be, that is where I have to exist. That's the only way to stay safe. If I stay in the dark and allow this to be done to me, allow myself to be tortured, tormented, assaulted, gaslit, manipulated, terrified, then I'll be safe. Yes, that's the way to be. Imagine the worst case scenario, at least you won't be disappointed. It's a horrific... it's the worst betrayal. It's literally there, and it's hijacked. Hence the shadow. The shadow is... Every time we've had a very traumatic experience in life, it's as if a part of us stays there in that moment, because we are multidimensional beings in a sense, and time is not linear at all. Time is dimensional, I think. Not that I understand that concept exactly. So even though I say it, I'm not quite, you know, I don't think the mind can really understand it at all. I think it's beyond the mind. But what I see is these ethereal, flimsy layers, and that, I think that is what time is, because I had an interesting experience up on the moors by a stone circle once, and there were people there, and it was a beautiful sunny day, even though this side it was winter, it was freezing cold, and the stone circle is in a terrible state of disrepair. But the people that made that stone circle were on the other side of a large pane of glass, and it was sunny and it was warm, and they were aware of me, they could see me. I couldn't see them, I could see them only in my mind's eye, and maybe it was just my imagination, it never really happened at all, I don't know. But anyway, I found a very beautiful and interesting stone right in front of me on the path that day that I still haven't. But, oh God, now I've lost my train again, haven't I? It wants us to be here, and we are in that horrific nightmare, worst case scenario, suffering, insanity, by consent. We consent to it, people. We consent to it because we are taught from the minute we're born, even ancestrally, because our parents and our ancestors felt that way, believed that, did that, lived there, that is how to stay safe. As long as we allow ourselves to be tortured, and we torture ourselves as well, you know, because there is it is an interactive thing. There is our shadow, all these bits of our soul, of our being that are trapped in the past. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of painful and traumatic experiences, moments, littered throughout our lives trajectory, and we are trapped here and trapped there, and we are there and we are living there, and we are stuck there, and we are still in pain over that and you know, those are traps, soul traps, siphoning our life force in a way. And so what's been happening, what we're going through here is a massive fucking detox, is what I feel. And again, I could be completely wrong about this. Everything I say is just conjecture. I don't know, I can't prove it, right? It's what I feel. It's what I feel. It's a massive detox, and it's also a massive soul retrieval operation, because I have been going through my whole life. I mean, childhood, when I was a teenager, when I was a young adult, all these different places, all these different times, all these different situations, traumatic. There's a lot of guilt, there's a lot of shame, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of emotions I don't even have a name for. I don't even have a word for, because they are nuances that PTSD, and I feel it viscerally. I feel it in my whole body. And it's the Dark General is there saying, yeah, you see how evil, how bad you are, how disgusting you are. You deserve to suffer. You're disgusting. You're powerless. All of that. Yet, I believe that what is happening here is not of evil, but it's of the light. Because it is interactive. We are walking this path one step after the other. It isn't a case of something comes, the light, whatever, the Great Mother comes and goes, right, let me just take all your burdens away. And all of a sudden you're happy, 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 and everything is perfect and fine. That sounds like something we all really, really want right now. We all really want that. Because we're suffering dreadfully. So we want somebody, something to come and take it all away and make it all right again. Because we are like children in that respect. But that's not going to happen. See, if that were to happen, we would not have any part in it. And ergo, we would not benefit of it. It would not contribute to our soul essence, people. We are here for a reason. We're not here because evil put us here against our will and it's this, that and the other. Those are the dark Neptunian illusions. That those beliefs are the traps. I've had it all. I had it this morning at 2 o'clock. Oh, you know, yeah, you're just a plaything of evil and you're powerless and worthless and shit, and oh god, and the self-hate, oh yeah, I hate myself, I'm disgusting, and the perversity, oh, I'm just a victim, fucking all of it, oh boy, you know, because that's it, our compliance with it. And make no mistake, people, we do choose that. And this is crossroads territory. The mirror is being held up and it's saying, look at yourself, look at how you comply with the dark agenda. Keep on going back to YouTube and watch the conspiracy theories and fill your consciousness with that. Oh, let's have a look and see what Bill Gates is up to and the World Health Organization and or Q. Let's see what Q is doing, because surely Q is going to save us all. No, he's not. Or let's listen to, oh yeah, so bad. Oh really? You know what? I used to do it. Well, I was a conspiracy researcher, whatever. And it's always the same. It's all about, oh, they're going to do this and oh, they're going to do that. And there was something going on in Donetsk and I said, oh, it's because of this and they're going to do this. Now, I remember all of that quite well. And I look back on it and think, oh yeah, well, that never happened. That never happened. That wasn't what they said it was. That isn't what they said it was. That's a completely different story. Because anything on the external plane, people, is an illusion. If you take it literally, as in it's all real and it's really happening and it's all bad and it's all evil and I'm really shit and I hate myself and I'm worthless and so I'm just going to be in there. I'm going to give my consent to it. I'm going to give my energy to it. I'm going to believe it all. And I'm going to help create it and bring it into form. Then you're just a minion of evil. I hate to say it. I hate to break the news to you, but there it is. You are. You're allowing yourself to be. You may be a good person, but you're just allowing yourself to be used. It's very difficult to get your head around that, to get an understanding, a knowing of that. Because it's been our normal. Remember when I talked about we've all been blanket trained. So I'm not blaming anybody and I'm not blaming myself either, because I do that too. That's why I'm making a video about it, obviously. Oh, it's lightning. Rosemary is really nice, and cedarwood. Cedarwood is really good as well. It's very calming. This is what is happening now, I feel, you see, because what's being cleared out now in this massive detox, and hence the Herxheimer reaction, right? The healing crisis. What's being cleared out now is that which has such a strong grip on us that almost makes us, okay, we will comply, yeah. Because we have such a deep yearning for safety and for well-being now. So deep, for freedom, for safety, for true well-being, that we feel safe, crazy but true, in the comfort zone. And the comfort zone is the dark side. You see? But our true power lies within. And our true power and us bringing forth our true magic now depends on us choosing to go in the opposite direction. To say, right, I'm going to stop giving my energy to all this negative predictive programming, because that's what it is, people. It relies on us to give it that energy. That is how it manifests. Never mind the NPCs, they're not real, they don't have any consciousness. And actually there's another thing that I need to say about that, because there's a lot of people that go on and on and on and on and on about NPCs and organic portals. I myself have been guilty of that too. But the only reason we do that is because we're afraid that evil's won. That's when we get really angry, and that's when we start ranting about the goddamn NPCs and the organic portals and oh this and oh that. But evil doesn't win. Evil doesn't win. The power of love wins. Love always wins in the end, always. Love. Infinite, unconditional love and creativity and magic, people. And so we do not need to hate anybody. We do not need to fear the NPCs or hate them. We can release them. We can let them go. Right? Because if you put yourself into a computer game, right? Do you hate the other characters that, you know, no you don't. They're not real. You know, they're not real. They're just there so that you can play a game. If they weren't there, you wouldn't be able to play the game. I'm not saying this is a computer game. I'm not saying that at all, by the way. It's another thing people do. Oh, it's AI, it's AI. Well, no. It presents as something that is similar to what we know as artificial intelligence in this illusory world. But it doesn't mean that it actually is. The choice is love, people. The choice that we have now is whether to consent to stay in the darkness or to go into love. And to choose love is to choose self-love, is to stand your ground. And it is a tough one, because I do find that once you make that decision, and you do feel, when you're ready, you make that decision, and you do feel that sense here, that is very peaceful and very strong and very powerful. It is able to release, to relinquish, to let go. It doesn't feel the need to look at what's happening, what they're doing, what's going on, oh my god, panic, panic, hate, hate, fear, fear. It doesn't do that at all. It lets go, because it knows that this entanglement is what it's all about, people. When you put your attention on something, focus on it, you're already entangled. Do you see what I mean? Now, this world is a world of symbols. It's symbolistic, to me anyway. I've always been very good with symbols and reading the language. This world speaks to me. It's a language. It's never been quite real to me, and I've always seen it as metaphorical rather than real. And it's a symbolic world. It's full of symbols, and it speaks to me, and it tells me what's going on. And I've had synchronicity my whole life. It always speaks to me. It's done that my whole life, even when I was a child, and that is just a great mother's way of communicating with me and telling me what's what, you know, on the up. It ought to be easy to put into words this crossroads, this choice between light and dark, but it really isn't. It's really quite difficult. You get to a point where you're able to see and understand that choice. But until you get there, you won't understand what I'm talking about. I wouldn't have been able to understand what I'm talking about maybe a year ago either. I remember sitting in the car thinking, why is it that life is so shit and this and that? Well, I mean, I understood that, but you know, it was about, well, what is my part? What is the part I play in all of this? Too many people think they don't play any part. Too many people think they are simply passive victims used and abused by evil, but you couldn't be more wrong. We do play a part. We do. Yes, through trauma-based mind control, but we do give our consent. Yes, because we've been gaslit and manipulated, but we do give our consent. We need to withdraw our consent and amend our behavior. And even then, oh boy, it will kick up a fuss, I know it. It's as if it says, well, the minute you dare to stand in the light, that's when all hell will break loose and all the bad things will happen then. It will punish you. You will be punished for standing in the light and being defiant. So get back down on your knees if you want to be safe. It will say that to you. But you see, the way I see it now is, well, frankly, no contest whatsoever. I will continue to stand my ground, and I will continue to stand in the light. And even when I was lying in bed in the night and it was at me, memory after memory with great anxiety felt in my gut, literally like, oh, horrible, of things that had happened, or relationships I had with people, all kinds of nuances, all kinds of things. Oh, dreadful. Just boof, boof, like, you know, and just feelings and emotions and energetic waves of putrid just, but at the same time, here, I love me, I love you, and just enveloping myself. You know, I was imagining being enveloped by a great big powerful oak tree, or a electric blue sword in front of me, behind me, above me, below me, or an electric blue cloak. Whatever imagery helps you to do it. Protect yourself, shield yourself, and keep repeating, I am the power of love, and I love myself, and I am with myself 100% forever and always. I choose me. I choose to love myself. I choose to see that I am precious, that I am a powerful, magical creator being, that I am of the light, that I am the light, I am love, I am magic. And all this darkness, all this world, this illusion of evil, of darkness, of all the trauma, the abuse, the insanity, the grief, the trauma, the fear, palpable, with disregarding all of it, the fear that now I'm stepping into the light and I am reasserting my self-love and I'm choosing me, so, oh, I'm gonna be made to pay for that. Now it's really gonna fucking lay into me, but I'm doing it anyway, you see? I will continue to stand in the light. I will continue to choose self-love. I will continue to give my energy to that which is good and pure and true, to love, you see. That is what I will do. I will help build the new world. I will be a part of that which is pure and good and true, rising from the ashes now. The new world, reset, call it what you like, but start, people, start to imagine the beautiful new world. Whatever makes you happy, get creative with it, but take your attention away from all the negativity and all the fear and everything that inspires fear, dread, defeat. There it is again. Imagine your potential. See? And you can say, well, that's just a fad with a slogan on it. It doesn't mean anything. Well, it means something to me because that is what I'm used to. It's always there just at the right time, just as I'm having a particular thought. And it's like the Great Mother's there saying, well, yeah, that's right, see, child? I feel the love, I know it's there, it lives in me. I am the power of love. I choose love. Because I have walked the dark path. I've been a victim. I have been tortured and tormented and abused and gaslit and manipulated. I've been told I was stupid. I've been told I was ugly. I've been told I was utterly worthless. I've been beaten. I've been lied to. I've been rejected. I've been excluded. I've been on the outside looking in. I mean, honestly, I've been there and I've done it. And there are people that have suffered horrendously, and soul travelers often have suffered a great deal. And whilst that could be used by the dark side to make you think that you're a powerless, worthless victim, I rather think that it's the other way around, people, you see. I rather think that it means we are beautiful, magical, creative beings. Because evil, where to go, hates the light more than anything. Why? What inspires such blatant, overwhelming hate? Well, I know that fear inspires hatred. It really does. I think fear is the number one cause of hatred. You see, it fears us, people. We are the power of love. We are in this world, but we are not at all of it. Not at all. And this is our finest hour. It's been our finest hour for a while, ever since this so-called bloody corona thing, whatever, started. I can't say this is going to happen or that's going to happen, you know, absolutely no idea, and I'm not going to do so. I am here only to advocate the ultimate choice, which is choose love. Choose yourself. Choose to love yourself, people. Choose to cherish yourself. Choose to stand your ground, even whilst the dark side rages and thunders throughout the external planes, making gestures and, you know, breathing its foul breath upon the earth. It's afraid of us, people. It's afraid of us. That's why it hates us so much, and that's why it has to put in such a fucking effort. I really feel with all my heart that to make this choice now, to start to love yourself, you know, and to do as I do, to just be with me, or you be with you, you know. I'm not saying it means that you know, you no longer interact with anything or anyone. I'm not saying that at all. You know, we have people that we love and care about, you know. That is not what I mean by that. What I mean is that to love yourself is the ultimate commitment, and it requires what's the word I'm trying to think, You know, it's not just a choice. There's more to it than that. We all our lives we've been focused on the external. All our lives, whilst we were being utterly traumatized and eviscerated, we were told that you have to give to other people. You have to be kind. You have to be good. You have to be compassionate. You have to be empathic. You have to give to other people. The wounded healer thing, right? Pluck out the arrows from people whilst you have 40 stuck in your own back, sort of thing. Well, that is it. No more of that. We are not responsible for other people. We are not here to fix other people. We are here to rescue other people. Now is the time to choose ourselves. Now is the time to come home to ourselves. Now is the time of the great merging. I was showing this, and I can't really put it into words, but in the most simplistic and somewhat inadequate way, what I see is the male and the female, or the true self, bringing home all those soul aspects and becoming whole again, the merging. This is what this time is called to me. I call it the merging, which is very pivotal. So, well, I think I've just about said it all, really, and you know, there's absolutely no point in elaborating on it anymore. I mean, I've said my piece, and it is up to each and every one what you choose, and whether you're willing to stand your ground valiantly, like a warrior of the light, knowing full well that the dark side seeks to subjugate you and get you back under its control, and saying no, and choosing to love yourself, and choosing to not squander your energetic and emotional and physical resources anymore, but to gather that within yourself and to look after yourself, and to stop interacting with all these feeders out there, and with all this drama out there, and with all the darkness and all the shit and all the threats and all the propaganda and all the this is happening and that is happening and the predictive programming. Fuck it. We don't need to do that, you know. Fear attacks. Love protects people. I know this, I feel this, and I could be wrong, but no, I feel it, and so that's what I'm doing. And then to finish this little video, I had 2 dreams last week. One where I heard a woman's voice. It was a cultured voice, you know, as in somebody who's kind of sort of upper middle class or something. And it was a very pleasant, sonorous woman's voice, somewhat on the low side, very melodious, saying her immune system is getting stronger now. And poof, I was wide awake. And the fear came and said, see, they're torturing you, and you're growing stronger, so they're going to make you feel really shit now. And I did start feeling a lot worse after that. It is true. But guess what? Here I am doing this video, loving myself and standing in my light anyway. So I'm guessing that my immune system is growing stronger. And I think this is true for all of us. Doing the actual work and walking the true path, is our immune system is getting stronger. We are casting out Wetiko. Good people. Then, about, I think it was Saturday night or Friday night last week, I dreamt I was walking on a dirt path, and on my left hand side there was a beautiful green field. And in that field were 4 white horses. But they weren't just white. These horses were whiter than any white I have ever seen. That type of white doesn't exist on this plane of existence. They were so white that they glowed. And they were big, beautiful, perfect, glowing white horses, 4 of them. Now, I'm usually quite afraid of horses. I think horse is my shadow totem. It represents a fear of power. Because we've been taught to fear our power, you know. The dark side is telling us that, well, what would you do with power? You would just become a megalomaniac. You would just abuse that power because you're just so shit and bad and power. No, you don't have any power. Better, you know, again, the choice, be on the dark side and just believe yourself to be powerless. So when horse is your shadow totem, you're afraid of your own power, which pretty much everyone is. These 4 horses were the most magnificent and benevolent animals that I have ever, I mean, they were just incredible, and they came up to me gently and nuzzled me, my head and my hands, and they exuded such love. And again, I woke up and it was like, wow. And I mean, I've still got that image in my head, and it gave me a great deal of solace, because I think it was Sunday that, no, it wasn't Sunday, it was Monday that the onslaught really began. So since Monday I've really been in the wars. It's been appalling, but yeah, standing my ground, people, and doing this video and reaching out and telling you all that, you know, no matter how shit you feel, stand your ground, love yourself. The light is here now. It's pouring in. It's pouring in. It may seem as if evil's winning, but it's the other way around, people. It's the other way around. The power of love, the Great Mother, is here. It's beginning now. The foundation has been laid, and we rise. But only love can do that. Nothing else will.